Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. We are building another PC. All the parts for this one coming out to just under $800. We're gonna be going through all the parts, the building, the process, the installation, and then some benchmarks at the end. But before all that, let me run you through the parts for this build. Starting it off hot with the Ryzen 5 5600. This thing is a beast when it comes to gaming, with its 6-core and 12 threads going for about $145 brand new on Amazon. Pairing that with the Gigabyte B550M DS3H motherboard. This thing has all the bells and whistles with Wi-Fi PCIe Gen 4 coming in at a micro ATX form factor. For the cooler, I opted for the Cooler Master Hyper 212 Halo White. This thing's gonna match the aesthetics pretty perfectly, and it has an RGB fan as well, which, you know, always appreciated. For RAM, we have 16 gigs of Corsair Vengeance Pro SL. It's a pretty simple DDR4 kit coming in at 3200 megahertz with a CL timing of 16. For storage, we're going with 1TB HBFX 900. This is also PCIe Gen 4, so we'll be able to take advantage of those motherboard speeds as well. The graphics card for this build is the RX 7600. It's a 12 gig card, and overall just a great option for this price point. We also have a 700 watt power supply, which is definitely not the old one from my PC, but anyways, all inside the Nova Mesh ARGB case. With its 3 pre-installed fans and RGB controller in the back, I think this thing will fit perfectly with the build. Now, with all that out of the way, let's jump right into this build. Starting things off with the motherboard itself. You know, whenever doing these PCs, I always have to decide whether I want to do like more an informative kind of tutorial kind of thing, or just like a chill building a PC. Either way, popping a rip here for this. This is actually gonna be one of the first times I'm not using stock cooler. I don't do it a whole lot. I don't need anything out of this box now. I can just, yeah, I'm done with it. Alright, so the PC is done and fully working. Now I do want to mention some of the mods I did to it. Now first, I did end up taking apart the GPU and spray painting it white just to make it match the overall vibe. It wasn't really any cost towards me, you know, it's just a bit more tedious. If you want to do that, it's completely optional. Otherwise, I also added these $20 cable extensions too. Technically, you don't have to include it. It is completely optional, but in my opinion, it just makes the PC look so much better on every level. I've never actually built in this case before, and it's not bad. My only little nitpicks with it is one, it has the window here, which I should have realized beforehand. So it does show that black power supply. It's not really a big issue though. It does seem to not have a whole lot of space in back for cable management, or like, especially with a non-modular power supply, I kind of felt like I was just cramming things back there, you know? The rest of the case was really easy to build in. I do like the way it turned out. Also, it does with that RGB controller in the back, allow you to then just change the color of the fans via the reset switch, which also has a bunch of these like effects on it as well. So I mean, if that's something you care about instead of having to download 6,000 softwares, then there you go. I also should note, for some reason the price of the SSD has gone way up since the time I built this. So it's gone from like $50 to $70, which is kind of crazy, but the $50 version is now only a 512 gig SSD, while the 1 terabyte has been bumped up to like $70 to $80, which is ridiculous. But that happened. You're also gonna notice that there is a different kit of RAM in here. Now the reason why is also the reason why this video is so delayed. I really hate to say it, but this PC has absolutely been my worst experience ever with a computer. It has been so painstaking and just time consuming for the stupidest reason as well. Basically, whenever I finished the build, I was having a ton of things where graphics card wouldn't spin to life, or I wouldn't get a post or something, and I knew the graphics card worked because I ended up having to go on this massive thing over my weekend of switching out parts and troubleshooting and doing everything except the simplest thing, which I feel like an absolute idiot about, and that thing was switching out the RAM. You know, I was considering it being a CPU issue before I even thought to switch out the RAM, and I don't know why. I only figured that out after finally getting a post and getting Windows installed, which is a whole other thing, by the way. Getting Windows installed was so randomly difficult and tedious as well, where it just wouldn't work and I had to just do all this extra stuff to make it work. It did eventually after a day or something, and then the second I launched a game, it crashed, and I was like, oh no, what could the issue be? It's RAM. The RAM was faulty, it got overloaded, and it couldn't handle it. So I switched it out with some Trident G-Skill RAM. It's still 16 gigabytes, 3600 megahertz. I learned a lot from it. I will probably never make that mistake again. Nevertheless, if the PC is actually working now, and the total cost of the build comes out to just over $800, not including a Windows CD key, though you can get one for just around 15 to 20 bucks over on a bunch of websites. The one I personally use is called VIPyourCDKey.com. They're not sponsored or anything, obviously, but the link will be in the description below. You just pick your key, and within a few minutes they email you the process to get it. I should also mention any links will be in the description as well, so the entire parts list, things like motherboard drivers, GPU drivers, as well as Windows 10 and 11 Windows keys that I recommend. Again, not sponsored, they're just good CD keys, and it's the website that I use. So, but now with all that out of the way, we can finally jump into the benchmarks of this thing and see how it actually performs.
yards, turn right.
I don't need a security guard to feel safe. I can deal with my own problem. Sorry, sir, I can't let you through. Got my orders.
That is General Reza Zaidan, Keeper of the Peace. Both targets down. Now head towards an exit.
Overall, this PC performs exceptionally well, getting well over 100 FPS in almost every game I gave it in medium to high settings. The temps stayed pretty respectable as well, peaking at around 83 degrees Celsius for the GPU and around 60 degrees Celsius for the CPU when I was playing around at the finals. And that is just about going to do it for this video, guys. If you did enjoy and you made it all the way to the end, first of all, thank you. Second of all, please consider subscribing if you enjoy things like PCs, tech, setup stuff, all that. I've probably also pinned my live channel where we have live streamed a couple times before, as well as just long gameplay kind of stuff there. I do have a Discord server too, so if you want to connect with me and my community, you can definitely do that, linked down below as well. And with all that said, I will catch you guys in the next video.